What's up, everybody? Disco Demonic Hydrophonic. I've had a very interesting couple of days. Yesterday started, so recently I had an astral link done with Santa Muerte. And this is supposed to increase, communication with the entity. And I would say definitely has. So yesterday, I was working on just doing kind of my morning devotional meditation with Santa Muerte, which I've been starting to do recently, which I didn't do before, maybe every once in a while. But now I just like to feel her energy, kind of like a bonding kind of a thing, you know? Kind of like calling your grandma and saying, "What's up, grandma? How you doing?" I'm not calling Santa Muerte grandma, but I'm just saying, kind of comparing it to that because I loved my grandmother, whatever. Anyway, so I channeled a sigil from Santa Muerte. I did utilize the sigil last night, so it does have a little bit of stuff on it. But this is the sigil if you want to use it. And I thought it was very interesting because when I channel stuff, I try to remove myself from ideas or anything that could interrupt the sigil or the channeling. Create anytime I'm channeling, that could substitute my subconscious mind for it, or my mental clarity, you know what I'm saying, I feel it come directly from the entity that I'm working with. So I try not to think ahead if I'm writing certain words. I try not to think of what's going to come next. I try not to make sense of the sentence, to predict what's going to be said. I just write it word for word so that when I go back and read it, to me it's more pure, right? So as I channeled this and I was drawing it, a couple of things came to mind. It very much looks like a feminine symbol because to me this looks kind of like ovary, like the ovaries kind of thing, you know. And so it looks feminine, and then you have the three lightning bolts, which lightning bolts in the Aztec culture are totally different from. I think in a lot of older cultures is like that. I know, when I saw it after a while, I thought maybe people would mistaken it for Nazism or something, but it's lightning bolts are representations of power. And then I saw this as the light and the dark, and it was very interesting, the things that came through afterward. Anyways, if you want to use that, go ahead. It was given to me by Santa Muerte, so And so actually, I used it yesterday on a ritual that I did, to ask for something. So hence I donated some of my. I did some blood magic with it, and then I lit some candles. I did all my stuff, that I do, whatever I intuit with Santa Muerte, and then so I did the ritual, and I felt her energy, and it was really good energy, and then I got really fucking hot. It wasn't any kind of chi building exercise. Chi building exercise, you feel it on the inside, wherever whatever energy center you're working on. But this was almost like an auric feeling. I felt it around on the outside of my body, but over here, it was I was glowing with heat. It was really fucking crazy. And so it was very interesting the way I felt that energy. And so I did the ritual, and at the end of the night, and when I went to sleep, I ended up having a dream where I was in San Antonio, Texas. Now, this is interesting because a friend of mine just posted a picture of some chick, that was in San Antonio, Texas, and she was real good looking and everything. And so I was like, hey, that looks like the Riverwalk in San Antonio. I don't know if it actually is. It looks like the Riverwalk. So I thought that was pretty interesting because I just had the dream that I was in San Antonio before, very close to the spot. Because when I was on the run for 3.5 years, I lived in San Antonio. So yeah, I have a very interesting life. So it looked like that spot, because we would hang out there a lot. And actually, inadvertently, I think that's where I started learning how to use magic. I had to work with magic whenever I was in San Antonio. There was these street kids that we used to. One of the guys, he lived on top of an old building that his brother had owned, and he used to stay in the room on top, and we would go hang out there and do magic shit, or talk about magic or do tarot and stuff like that. It was pretty tripped out. And so, anyways, it looked very much like San Antonio to me. So anyway, I was in San Antonio. I was driving. And I needed to go to a Walgreens for some reason, and I know there was a Walgreens. I think it's a Walgreens or probably a CVS in San Antonio. Anyways, in my mind, it was a Walgreens in the dream. So I drove over there, and I was driving this truck. And you know how downtowns are all one way. So I was going down the wrong way. I had to bust a U-turn and everything and come back. And I parked in front of the place, and I went to, and it was closed down because of the virus. So the virus was in the dream. Uh, or repercussions or aspects of the virus, things that were going on because of the virus were in the dream. Which I'm not really super, like, I guess it's all we're inundated with it. So we're going to kind of see it around. But anyways, that's like another video to analyze all that kind of shit. So I go to the window because we weren't able to like see face to face. I go up to the window. I tell them, hey, I got a script. I got to pick up a prescription. I got to pick up for blah blah blah. I don't remember all the details and everything. And the first girl was like, when I was paying for it, she's like, oh, I like that, and I didn't know what she was talking about. But I was like, okay, thank you. Like, you know, like, what is it? She's like, do you talk to her? And I was like, what? Do I talk to her? What do you mean? And so I have a wallet, and I got this a long time ago, with Santa Muerte on it. And so in my dream, I had the wallet, so I was like, oh, you're talking about Santa Muerte? And she's like, yeah. And it was like, normally when I talk about Santa Muerte, it's like, oh, it's like this amazing thing, right? But like over there, they were like it seemed like they were very used to it. At least these two girls in the dream were. They were very like accustomed to talking about Santa Muerte openly. And I thought that was very interesting. So the first one is like, we talked a little bit, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go get my, get you the script for you, right? And I was like, okay, cool, thank you. And the next girl was like, so do you still see her a lot? And I was like, Santa Muerte? I was like, well, the first time I saw her, I talk about the first time I saw her in my room, and I was telling her about that, and I was like, and I do see her depending upon what kind of work that I'm doing. And then we kind of had a small conversation. I don't remember the detail of every aspect of the conversation that we had, but we were talking about Santa Muerte. And then I woke up. And then when I woke up, I have a playlist that I have, like a sleep playlist. And it's basically, there's a channel on YouTube called Magnetic Minds. And I went to the Magnetic Minds, and that's what I built, like a playlist of, like, you know, deep lucid dreaming, deep sleep, total body healing, all that kind of stuff that I listen to while I'm sleeping. So I went to turn it off. I woke up in the morning, I was going to turn it off, and then, like, I don't know how, I guess I accidentally hit a button or something. I don't know. I just grabbed it and I was going to turn it off. And then apparently I turned on, so Satania is also a page on YouTube that I listen to. Sometimes, not like every day like I do the Magnetic Minds. And it was an end to Santa Muerte, and it had her sigil that was based upon like I guess the voodooine aspect. That sigil, you know, with the oval and the arrow, and then, like, I don't know if you've seen it, but so it was that sigil that I had seen, that it was on the Satania page, and it was like for an hour long, and so it was Santa Muerte. I think it was an N channel by VK Jehannam. Ozono Onon Ozrazala. So I thought that was very interesting. And so it was like a bunch of Santa Muerte stuff, man, has been happening the past couple of days. And so I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in the future. So basically what that told me is, like, she was happy with the sigil that I channeled from her. Hopefully people use it, because I share all my stuff basically. And so and then the spirits know that unless they tell me specifically that this is for you, I pretty much, I'm going to share it, you know. And so yeah, I think that's probably it. Anyways, yeah, like, it was just a short video. I just want to talk about that because it was so fucking cool. And there's some other stuff that's been kind of happening that I may talk about later, but right now, no. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, share it with your friends. If you hate it, share it with your enemies. Later.